Welcome to the AHL's Rinkside. Today we're going to take another look at our top 30 countdown, plus my good friend Edmonton Oilers top prospect Jason Chimera stopped by for a chat, and a whole lot more.
Back to the AHL's Rinkside. Now, what we do every week on Rinkside, some prospect we've got our eye on the American Hockey League who's going to be coming to an NHL city near you in the not-too-distant future. This guy's a lead pipe cinch. Jason Chimera playing with the Hamilton Bulldogs. Tell you what, a great young individual. His top 3 highlights, well, first being drafted in the National Hockey League, then making the World Junior team, and then scoring his first NHL goal. Now, he scored a whack of them for the Hamilton Bulldogs, but what's especially great for Jason Chimera is he grew up in Edmonton. Always wanted to play with the Edmonton Oilers. They were his favorite team, and that's the dream he's realized on a few occasions and ultimately will realize down the road. For the Oilers, big thing is he's a 5th-round pick. He's a guy they got in the middle of the draft. He's one of these late type of bloomers. He's a guy who scores not only goals, but also game-winning goals in the clutch. And I'll tell you about a guy who's got his head together. Had his first ever NHL training camp, all the who's who that were in the dressing room, but through it all, Jason Chimera still kept things in perspective.
I was pretty nervous. I was just on a junior, 6 feet. I was still like 160 pounds, pretty light and stuff. And so I came in there and just kind of pushed around a little bit because those guys are just that much bigger, that much stronger than the rest of the people, and it's overwhelming. The first one-on-one I was going against was Kevin Lowe, so it was pretty. You know, you sit back and you realize where you're at is pretty awesome.
For any player, making the jump to the NHL can be daunting, but for Edmonton Oilers prospect Jason Chimera making his debut in the city he grew up in, the feeling hit home.
It is a little overwhelming growing up, and then especially when I played my first game in the Coliseum there. You know, you watch your whole life and never think you're going to be there. You always think, you know, well, maybe I'll one day step over those guys, but it's fun just skating around the rink and looking up and seeing all the people there. It's pretty amazing. For the first time I got called out, the guys got like Doug Waite in the dressing room, and Kevin Lowe was their manager, Charlie Huddy, and Craig McTavish is a coach. So it's pretty overwhelming. You look around and you're sitting in the same dressing room with these guys. You got to sort of sit back and just say, holy. And just sort of listen, just take everything in and try not to speak too much.
Originally drafted by Edmonton in the 5th round in the 1997 entry draft, Chimera has become Hamilton's go-to guy. As of the All-Star break, he ranked 2nd on the Bulldogs in assists with 34 and points with 51. His aggressive and fast style of play is what's made him a fan favorite in Hamilton, and what he hopes will create a job for him amongst the youthful Edmonton Oilers squad.
In Edmonton, the people are starting to get excited about hockey again. You know, Edmonton's playing pretty good this year, not so good lately, but it's starting to get excited. You know, and Calgary's playing better, so that rivalry's back again, and it's getting exciting for Edmonton. Hopefully I can be part of that in the next couple of years.
So where does Chimera see himself being most effective in the Oilers lineup?
Hopefully anywhere, you know, maybe just step on, just be sitting around for a bit, and just hopefully when you get your chance, but yeah, hopefully anywhere. You just got to go out there when with the ears open, mouth shut kind of thing, learn to take everything in, because those guys have been around for a while, and just from the vets are really good up there usually in Edmonton. There's a great bunch of guys up there, and just they help you out a lot, and just sort of listen and do the little things right, and hopefully that's enough to keep you up there.
Last year, Chimera tied the AHL lead with 8 game-winning goals, a stat that relies heavily on being able to manage and conquer pressure situations.
Obviously, you pride yourself on being out there in the last minute of the game and being the last 10 minutes you're playing lots, and the coach has some confidence in you, put you on the power play and stuff like that. It's nice to be recognized like that, and for a player, that's the ultimate goal, to be in those situations, and that's what you play the game for.
Born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta, Chimera grew up with the powerhouse that was the Edmonton Oilers of the 1980s.
First pro game, well, it was way back when I was a little kid. My dad used to take me a couple games a year to Edmonton to watch Gretzky and those guys, and Yari Curry and Mark Messier, and those guys skate around. I was overwhelmed, one of those kids, watching them come out through the tunnel there, and one time there I got to go out through that tunnel, so it's pretty cool.
Well, he's never actually met Wayne Gretzky. Chimera has met some others from that key Oiler dynasty.
McTavish and Kevin Lowe, I met them when I got drafted there, and Kevin's assistant, Glenn Sather, and those guys, and just it's pretty, you're in awe meeting those guys, and just kind of general manager and coach now, so it's pretty really, I don't know words to describe it. It's kind of cool.
This year, Jason was honored with his first AHL All-Star game. A season like this one has helped establish Chimera as a solid prospect. While he continues to keep everything in perspective, he is proud of his accomplishments.
I'm really happy with accomplishments so far in my life this far. Getting there in the All-Star game, just another feather in cap for me, and it's fun to be recognized like this, and getting drafted was another big accomplishment. And hopefully we continue to get some more.
Well, it's time to take a look at the top 30, and I'm already getting a lot of heat on this, Gord. Everybody comes up to me and said, oh, gee, 30 should have been 28, and we've only done 3 guys.
I'll tell you something, you better handle the heat. There's a lot of pressure. You know, to make the top 30 means you're likely going to make it to the National Hockey League. So these guys have earned it, but they're not the only 30. That's what you got to tell them.
Absolutely, and we're at 27 now, and Ron Hainsey is that guy.
You tell you what,